What are you doing in the background? You and Clyde just taking out the garbage?
I'm emptying the trash, yes.
I'm trying to do a show here, but it's okay.
Clyde wants to be in the movie.
Okay, so Clyde's always in the movie. So, I am doing a blog. So if you go to skinner5media.com, my blog will be posted on there of this entire Lewis and Clark tour in our RVs with Tom and Laura. But I'm going to read a few notes just to do a quick little episode for you guys about some stops that I noted that I felt would be really cool to stop at if you're driving up the 101. I would highly recommend it. I would recommend taking at least 3 days going up the 101 because it was probably one of the prettiest drives I think Mike and I have ever done, and we've done the Carmel and the Big Sur and Laguna Seca, I mean all those in California, which is great, but starting from Eureka, California and going all the way up to Newport, Oregon, it was magical. We are traveling on 101. Again, sorry for the crappy camera work here. We're trying to find a place that we can stop. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. We just went through a cluster of redwoods along the Redwood Highway. That was just impressive.
And the ocean's on the left,
Yeah.
gigantic trees on the right.
It's really cool. I'll try to get some cooler shots for you here in a little bit, but fun drive, definitely a fun drive. And so I'm going to give you my little tutorial on where I think you should stop. These are the places that we didn't stop, but I did make a lot of notes. So, number one, Eureka, the Humboldt area. Check out Emerald Forest Cabins and Elk Country RV. You already saw the episodes about the catastrophe that we had at Shoreline. Don't go there. Not only that, after I read some reviews, they have a lot of issues there, unfortunately, with squawkers with squatters and some homeless, which is actually very sad. But if you want a safer place, I would definitely stay at my choice. The Emerald Forest cabins looked cute, but Elk Country RV, I actually tried to get in there. They were already booked, and they were so nice. They actually called me and they said, we've tried so hard to get you guys in for one night. We're just booked. And I'm like, you know what? Next time. So Elk Country RV looked amazing. And you could see a lot of elk, which I didn't see. Mike did. I didn't see the elk. The other stop that I noted was the Redwood National State Park. It offered a lot of great spots just to pull off to the side and maybe take in the massive trees all around. So if you stay in Eureka, kind of downtown Eureka looked a lot of fun, looked like a lot of fun. But as you start making your way up the coast that morning, maybe have an extra cup of coffee in this Redwood National State Park, because there were a lot of cool spots that you could pull off to the side and check out the trees. There was another place called Kalmath Camper Corral. It looked like a fun place to dry camp for a day or night. And I also spotted 2 more RV parks in Klamath, California. One was called Golden Bear RV, and the other one was called River Valley. They both looked like really cool places. I would like to stay a night at one of those places, even if it was Elk Country RV, and go to the Trees of Mystery. Now, Mike and I did stop there for about 10 minutes, but if you went and did the entire tour, you can actually do the little gondola rides up to the top of the trees and learn about the redwoods, and taking that sky ride over the treetops, I think, would be pretty fantastic. Who was the man that said this morning, if we go early, we can stop for you and you can see the redwoods and we won't be in such a hurry? Who said that?
By the way,
My husband.
every once in a while, it would probably be really productive to say, good job, Mike.
Good
You
job,
turned this
Mike.
Bus around in that tiny little
Baby,
spot.
that was
Most
so
likely
good.
would have
But
a
hey,
hard time
hey,
turning around.
can I give you a piece of advice?
I'm taking
Don't
that.
pass Trees of Mystery again. It's approaching.
It could be miles before we can turn around again.
Yeah, so let's just...
It's a couple miles now.
We're approaching the Trees of Mystery, which was a nice big parking
These
lot.
big trees.
I know, they're pretty. But I want to get out of the bus. The dogs need fed. I need some cereal. Trees of Mystery.
Oh,
It's coming up.
okay, I'm doing 36th.
It's coming up. Get ready.
I was
Look,
only doing
there's
45
big buses
last
in
time.
there. Look, that's huge. Now,
Is there a big bus?
all the way down there. Look.
There's nothing big about that bus.
Well, now look, you're going to be able to turn around in this parking lot. My God, I could turn around in this parking lot.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna let you go.
That's okay. Hey, check out Paul Bunyan and Ox Blue, whatever his name was. Okay, listen, folks, I never said that this was a kid's show. The first thing my husband noticed is the big blue ball sack. He's such a jerk. There's Babe. There's Paul. There's the trees I wanted to see. We can now go play golf. I know. Oh, like, so, okay, this says this guy here is 50 feet. And then look, that tree going up. Crescent City had a ton of parks right off 101. So if you want to get a little further up and past the Trees of Mystery, Sunset Harbor, Harbor RV, Anchor Lighthouse Cove, they looked to be like the nicest from the road. Now remember, I'm driving down the road and I'm just going, checking them out. They looked big rig friendly. Of course, you know, I'm always looking for that because we do have a 45-footer. Now, once you reach Oregon, there was now I put the HARAS Beach State Park. Surely that's a typo. That just doesn't sound like the right thing. We'll have to look that one up. But it provided really gorgeous rocks, towering from ocean waves, and a massive beach. Mike and I actually did stop there for a pit stop with the dogs, and that's where Clyde got to see the ocean for the first time, and it was really adorable. Yay! We found a big wide spot on the road. Go outside and take a picture. Our dogs might want to go for a little walk there. I don't know if he's seen the ocean yet. I've never taken him at Daytona. Don't you let him get in that water. He's got to get back in the bus. But there were picnic tables there, and you can't camp there. That's just a place to pull off, let the dogs go to the bathroom, and take in the view. Now, Whales Head Viewpoint and Beach also looked like a really cool place to stop and take in a little scenery, as well as Arch Rock, which had a really nice large pull-in area if you're traveling in a big rig. Now, the prettiest area, in my opinion, was the drive around Pistol River. Mike and I both were going, oh my gosh, why didn't we stay here? It's along mile marker number 337. Okay, mile marker 337. It's the Pistol River area. There were many campers and RVs parked all along the 101 right there. And we definitely need to stay there if we're ever on 101 again. At 335, mile marker 335, there was Cape Sebastian. That looked like a really cool place as well to spend more time. Gold Beach, next on my notes for killer spots along the 101 North traveling in Oregon. The RV park on the right side looked really nice. I believe the name was Four Seasons RV Resort. I saw big rigs parked with no issue on the left-hand side of the canal too. So those were cool places to stop if you want that water view. And then I had Nesika Beach RV, Nesika Beach RV. I wanted to check the potential out of that as well. Now, our final stop on that specific day was Bandon by the Sea. It was a cute little RV park, literally right off 101. You just make a little left. We wanted to get there kind of early because we had a tea time at Bandon Dunes. So if you're a golfer, Bandon Dunes is kind of a bucket list place to golf. Now, it's stupidly expensive. But it did remind us of playing in Ireland and Scotland. It just kind of had that vibe. There is a really cool pub that Mike and I went to afterwards. So we had like a 2:30 tea time, and thankfully we got to play with this really fun realtor from Nashville that was a really good golfer, and he had a caddy. Get a caddy there. You definitely need a caddy. We did not have one. They were out of them, but we got to use the gentleman from Nashville, and thank heavens. But we had a great time. Beautiful golf course. I think they have like 5 golf courses all along that resort. And he also said that his daughters and his wife kind of toured the beaches. And there's a ton of tide pools in that area where you can see starfish and sea anemones and just really cool sea life. Really cool area, Bandon by the Sea. And the little RV park that we found, they were the nicest people after the disaster of Eureka. The people just came out to greet us. They helped us get parked. They gave us this cute little parking spot in a little grassy area right behind the office because we were only there for one night. We didn't have a dump, but we didn't need it. And we just really enjoyed their hospitality there. And Mike actually said, I wish we would have stayed here a little longer. So note that. Okay, by the time we got parked there and put the slides out, I said we went to play golf, which was great. The Clubhouse Pub at Bandon Dunes was really good. They had homemade chicken pot pie and meatloaf. Really, really, really good. Now, after we left there, we only had a 2.5-hour drive continuing up the 101 to Newport. And that's where we parked at Pacific Shores Motor Coach Resort. So as we drove for that 2.5 hours, and that morning I looked for more spots to tell you where to stop, and the views along 101, they just continued to impress us. Coos Bay, Coos Bay, it looked really inviting for fresh fish and chips. I kind of wished I had maybe pulled over and had lunch there real quick before we got parked over at Pacific Shores. But also I found a big rig friendly place, Mills Casino RV Park. Bandon Dunes gets pretty, that area doesn't have a lot of RV parks, and Pacific Shore Motor Coach gets pretty booked out. So if you are still looking for a place on the Oregon coast, Mills Casino RV Park had tons of big rigs. It was right on the bay. It looked really, really pretty. And then I did note this, right before Newport, maybe about 30 miles, it could have been a little less, was Seal Rock State Park. You cannot camp there. It's just a place that you can drive your car, but man, that looked gorgeous just to walk the beach, exploring tide pools, really wide beach, nice big area. So that's my tour up 101 for you guys. Of course, we stopped in Newport. We did actually leave Newport and we went all the way up to Astoria to go up to the Lewis and Clark Museum and Memorial and Fort Clatsop and Cape Disappointment. But that was another 3 hours up. We did it in a car, and you'll just have to watch that video to get my tips on that one. Cheers.